Hello everyone, so it is me, MrSneakyy, and stay tuned for all the tips, extra tips that I'm going to give you for Season 1 Plus, what you should be doing, what you can be doing to be more efficient in the game, especially as a free-to-play player, so stay tuned. Hello, so yes, it is me, MrSneakyy. What we've done and what have we achieved this season so far? As we know, the season ends on the 22nd. It is the 19th today of recording, and as you'll know, we are able to have climbed almost basically double the power. I start at 7 million, we're at 15.6. So I'm going to give you guys other tips on how I've grown power, on how to obviously come and look at this season and give you guys the best way to manage your heroes to actually be more efficient. So one thing we will go into it before we start. Hit the subscribe button, guys. Come on, hit the like and comment below. I would love to hear you guys discuss and talk or even ask any questions. I'm there here to basically answer them and give you guys, feedback. So without all of that out of the way, let's go straight into the tips, right? So the number one tip I'm going to go over is actually to do with heroes and hero pages, right? So the way you want to look at heroes in this game currently is that they all serve really good roles in different scenarios, right? So you have PvE and you have the PvP, right? So you have player versus environment, or like the animals or raids, if you want to call it, your behemoths, your patrols, all that, right? And then you got your player versus player, which is your open field combat, your rallying, all the PvP side. We all know the goodie, right? So heroes do excel in different scenarios. So a good way of showing this is my Neeko and Guanwin March, right? This is my Neeko Guanwin I've ran all season. I've loved it so much. It has been for me, S++. It is insane the amount of damage this deals in PvE. So when you're bringing it into a raid, you are able to fight into the top 10 DPSs if you're able to understand the mechanics and keeping your March high in health and able to DPS correctly and not draw aggro, right? So if you're a really good archer player, you're able to do all of the above. You're gonna understand the power of these archers in the raids. But when you see them in PvP, they do get targeted a lot, especially by mages. That's because obviously the range difference, right, and the range differential between them, and that's what I'm going to talk about, right? So if you're looking for PvP heroes, your mages are always going to rule the different PvP realms so far. And especially with the new hero, Valen, if you guys are starting a new account and Valen is available in Season 1 as he is so far, if you unlock Valen early, a Valen plus Wild Deer combo is going to keep you guys set up for such a long time. It's going to be a great investment to have, even with a Valen at 5111. I have seen Hulkton Gaming in a raid with a 5111 Valen and his Lilia behind, and he is smashing now the amount of damage because of these buffs you get on the hero, right? He's a very, very strong mage hero. So remember, if you're looking for PvE and you want to be a really good raider, I'd always suggest bringing archers, but mages are still good. But if you're looking for PvP, mages are the best, but archers are still good at doing it, right? It's just that each class is just better than the other in some regard, and that is fine. And I love the fact that they have that character between them, right? But with this goes into the second tip on heroes. Try and dedicate your heroes to actual roles, right? And what do I mean by roles? I mean, imagine you have Guanwin, and this is one mistake I've done this season, and I'm gonna learn my lesson, and next season and every future season I'm gonna do this, right? In the game currently, there's not that many hero talent reset pages, and everyone knows this. There's a very few amount that you get, and you do realistically need a lot more. And the reason is because the talent tree system in this game is vastly different to the one in Rise of Kingdoms. Each talent you put in isn't a stat point in general sense. It's a way of being combatively strong, right? And it's a very independent and very characteristic talent. And the thing is, these talents, they can also stack with each other, right? So what we've learned, and as you guys might have checked out, if you've not, I did upload a video to do with talent builds, right? And what I'm going to do in the future is build Guan Win this way for the first 45 points. And the reasoning is, as you can see on the little title, is I've named this build the raiding build, right? And what I'm going to do is have Guan Win Nico still as my raiding pair, but anytime I go to raid now, my Guan Win is going to be having the talent page set up for raids only, and that's what she's going to be used for as her role. She's going to be the raid captain for my march. So then when I go to my Nico now, I'm going to be running, when I go over, this page right here. And this page is my PvP one. So if I click on here and just quickly rename it and choose PvP, just so you can guys see, this is the second preset, and this is what I run for PvP. You can also, just to give you guys a little tip, if you run this page and you're looking for your last point, Initial Intuition is a great skill, and you can also put your last point here. I would argue it's better to put it here, but I want it to be a bit more selfish and get that extra bit of damage, right? So this is my PvP build. So anytime I'm going to open field combat, I'm still going to run Nico Guan Win, but as now, I have my Nico as the primary commander, and his role will be as the archer PvP commander guy, right? And that allows you now to set up your talent pages efficiently with what you need them to do. And what I would suggest, and I'm going to showcase it on screen, is the archer raiding build. And I've done God knows how many raids now, and I have tested so many different talent pages, but this one always outperforms the others. And the only thing you need to know is when you first do your talents, right? So this is the initial path you want to take. The reason we take what we do is obviously at the start we want attack. We need march speed for raids. March speed is very important. It allows you to get in and out of combat quicker, meaning you're dealing damage quicker. It also means you're going to be able to dodge all those pesky raid mechanics, right? Like Necro Giant abilities. And then we obviously get the HP, so we're able to be more tanky. And then you have your center skill. And the center skill is you deal 2% more normal attack damage, and you mitigate 1% of the enemy's defense while you're in battle, right? So it's a great skill to have. And in raiding, you're always in combat for the duration, so you want to be able to maximize what you're dealing. One thing to note, if you're a good archer player again, there's certain talents that are completely useless in raids. Counter attack damage is a very good one. For an example, if you're a good archer player, you do not take any damage, and by not taking any damage, it means you're not dealing any counter attack damage. So this is a very wasted talent in raids. So what you're trying to do here, as you can see at the start, is put these premise points, what I call them. This is the baseline, and it's a very simple baseline to run. But when you hit your first main keystone, you can choose if you want to deal more bursty skill damage based, or if you want to enable your normal attacks between skills to be as stronger. And I have done both, and they both work just as good. It is down to preference on what you like to see. Personally, from what I have gathered data wise and testing wise in all my raidings in season 1+, right? So now we go for simple, get your 5 points in for more damage, and then we go to get the extra normal attack crit rate and damage buff. And then to top it all off, like I said, we are going to be in a raid, and this talent page is only for the raids. Mark of War increases your attack for the longer you're in battle, and you're always going to be in battle, so you get the 3% damage no matter what, which is great. And now, as you can see, I have my last 17 points. And my last 17 points go as follow, and it can go a few different ways depending on your playstyle. But I'm going to go over the most amount of damage I've been able to deal, and that is instantly putting all 5 points into Impressible, putting 5 points into Suppression to increase Fragility, and now this is where you can kind of be a bit more loosey, as I want to call it. So you have 7 points, and these 7 points are still going into the Precision tree, and you can choose a few. Having dedication is a good tree. It means those players that are still learning the archer role, and you take a little bit of damage because you might not be able to dodge every skill. If you max this skill out, you'd get a bunch of healing, and you get, I think it's 180 healing or 150 healing per trigger on this, right? And you'll be surprised on how quickly you heal your troops back up before the healing stone, and you're able to continue DPSing like normal, right? But if you're a very confident player like myself, and there's there's a few of them out there, and I've seen them play in TA and in other vast different servers and in different raids. If you're able to dodge all those mechanics, this is a waste of talent, right? So the way to increase the damage output even further for me is actually obviously giving yourself more rage. And then when you have your rage, you're able to put 1 point into here, giving you a 25% chance to increase your normal attack damage by 2%. You could go for that 4%. But for me, I actually enjoy putting the last point in overall speed. And the reason is with the speed you already got, plus this extra 2% you hit here, you have 8% movement, and that 8% movement just is enough to get in and out and be reactive in combat to, you know, deal with all the raids. So as you can see now on screen, this is the final talent build that I ran on my archers. I've done this a lot, and I've been able to, as you can see, hit those insane rank top 10 rankings with it. So this is what I'm going to run and go and win. And as I said, my Nico will be in that special PvP build, right? So that is my big, and I know it's a long tip, and that was the tip number 2, but that is set all of your commanders in the season to have a role. And as we go through next season, I'm going to be doing more, hopefully, videos as I progress through the season, more obviously personal updates, so you can see how I'm growing throughout the season, right, instead of in big massive chunks. And that is obviously the big tip over, right? So now when you're looking to grow, obviously I'm at 15.6 million power, which is insane. The way you can grow really efficiently is actually using your gathering commanders more efficient, right? So one way of doing this is obviously hitting when you click gather, or when you hit gather and click the legion. The best thing to do is, and this is only if you've got it, obviously, and if you don't have it, it's something to aim for in the future, is to use your Lucius Horn. Your Lucius Horn allows you to, no matter what, when you do level it up, mine is leveled, I summon level 7 plots no matter what, and this gives me the ability, as you can see now, to always farm very efficiently as fast as possible. If you have the sickle attached like I do to my Keller, right, you should always send the Keller with your Greenfingers Sickle, or whoever you've got it attached to, right? Whoever's got this artifact. So let's just show you guys what we're talking about. So anyone who uses this artifact on screen, you always want to activate it in your Alliance resource pit. This is free resource and you're able to abuse it and farm even more so fast, and it's ridiculous how much you're going to gain out of it by doing so, right? And that is pretty much it when you're going for farming. Always farm on Alliance territory. Then when you farm on Alliance territory, you get more gathering speed bonuses, and obviously you get benefits. And then when you go into your talent trees, even for those gatherers, as you can see for like my Indus this season, that's just been growing through the talent system, you always want to finish with Windfall. So anytime you finish a resource points, you get some additional rewards, which are chests that accumulate over time, right? So you're going to be able to grow and grow over time. So that is how you should be growing in the game. If you're looking for ways to prioritize, and this is what I'm going to give you guys at the end of the video. Now, this isn't a tip. That was basically the big free explanation tips that you need to know to obviously grow and learn a bit more about the game. When you're looking for direction, it's always at the moment obviously down to you, right? If you want to play magic units, play magic. And if you want to play archers, play archers. The one tip is don't play infantry, because infantry are generally really costly to play compared to every other game. You will always, if you do play infantry, generally become the main tank and infantry player for your alliance, meaning you're gonna be always the main tank in a raid, so you will always get the rewards, which is cool, but you will never get any sort of extra benefits in a raid at the moment until they add maybe some rewards for tank players in the future, right? So that is everything done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed it. That's my advice on you guys, what you should be doing again in this season, on how to benefit yourself, on how to make yourself a bit more efficient with your heroes, how to farm a bit more efficiently, which allows you to grow and obviously level up your research and buildings, right? So if you enjoyed that video, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, and comment below on your thoughts on the video, and that will be me out until the next. So catch you guys later in the next video. Peace.